Hi guys, welcome to the Craft Beer channel. Today I've gone all the way up to Manchester to Indy Man Beer Con, one of the best beer festivals in the country. Why is it the best? Well, there's a famous saying in Manchester, welcome to Manchester, here we do things a bit differently. Now in 1900 that meant that they accidentally put arsenic in their beers and killed a lot of people. But this time it means they've done a whole load of exciting collaboration brews. So I'm going to go in there, I'm going to find out the most exciting, weirdest things people are doing with beers and hope we find some amazing, amazing beers where the balance has been struck between weird and wonderful. Let's go give it a go. So, first beer of the day, I thought I'd start with a bang, go big or go home. I've got a quart, not even a quart, of an 11.2% beer by Evil Twin. Evil Twin, if you don't know the name, it's the brother of McKellar, who you probably will know. He's called the Evil Twin because apparently they don't get along, I don't know. But this is his Biscotti Imperial Stout, but for some reason, which isn't clear, he decided to dry hop it with donuts. So he shoved a load of donuts into the keg and served it at a special festival in Denmark, and people loved it so much that he started bottling it, and now it's on keg today. So dry hopping with donuts, not an exact science. What it adds is a real sweetness and a real doughiness, like not a breadiness which you can get from yeast, but a real sweet, sticky, almost sort of a glazed thing, like a glazed donut you get. And then you drink it and it's sticky and it's sweet and it's raisiny, but that underlying really sugary, like icing sugar kind of finish to it. But I think this is the best use of a donut in a beer that I know of. And at 11.2% you're never going to have too much of it, because you can't. So the next beer I was going to review was going to be BERTOWN, so I went down to where they're serving their beers, but it's even more of a rave than it is behind me currently. So I couldn't have them in the background, so what I've done is this. So we've still got the branding, are you happy? So I'm drinking their EARL Phantom. Now Phantom is a little group of beers that they're doing, and they did a lemon Phantom, which is very lemony, which was delicious, and that's kind of what this is based on. So there's some lemon to an Earl Grey tea, and that's what they've kind of played on here. But what they've done is they've upped the aromatics a little bit, and I think they've probably upped the bread, the yeast that gives it a funk. So what you get is it's almost like you've added honey to yogurt. That's exactly the smell. Just a little bit of herbalness. So it's super sour, really, really sour, really, really light, really, really refreshing. And it just makes you smack your tongue. It's proper like a Haribo Tang Fastings. It's really, really boring. And you get that herbalness, that sort of crisp refreshingness you get from an Earl Grey tea that isn't for everyone, and sour beers aren't for everyone, but I can assure you that this is a really well made beer. And the fact they've dry hopped with the Earl Grey herbs really, really lifts this beer. This brewery, Thornbridge, one of my favourite breweries from up north, which is where we are, have done a peanut butter brown ale. So they've added it into the mash, whole peanuts. It's really, really savoury. There's no sort of salt there, but it's kind of an earthiness, not a hoppy earthiness. And the aftertaste you could spread on toast, but the rest of it is quite a light, crisp, ever so slightly bitter brown ale. It's nicely balanced. Wouldn't go so well with jam. It's not a really peanut buttery kind of thing like a Voodoo by Rogue, but really drinkable and a really lovely smell. final beer of the festival. I've come to the Italian bar, who'd have guessed it by the colours, and to Brewfist, who are a brewery I really, really like. Along with Birra del Borgo, they're the best coming out of Italy at the moment. So I've got their Space Frontier Grape IPA. Understandably, there's grape in there. So they've aged it and brewed it with the grape must, which is basically the skins that are left over when you make wine. And it's also what you make grappa from, which is a very Italian drink. So, from the cameraman, thank you. So when you smell it, you get a whole load of grapes. They use Trebbiano, so it's quite a classic kind of white wine Italian smell. Lots of acidity, lots of maybe a bit of apple, fresh green apple kind of thing. When you drink it, it feels like a normal IPA, and then boom, you get all this floralness that's not very citric. It's actually a little bit rounded. And then you get the sharpness of the hops, the sharpness of the bitterness from the beer come through. So as you can see, lots of breweries use wacky ingredients as a way to sell some beer to people that don't really know what they want, and they see peanut butter and go, awesome. But actually you can balance it really well, you can do it really well if you choose the right flavours with the right beers. And I have to say that this is the grapest IPA I've ever had.